It starts off with Shane Gillis. He's the host. I never heard of the devil, but I know who he is now. He starts out by saying, I want to thank Netflix for choosing me to co-host this celebration of Black excellence. And when I heard that, I said, okay, that's an underhanded jab at Black excellence. He's basically trying to say, ain't nothing excellent about y'all. Y'all just a bunch of dumb niggas. That's what he was trying to say.
The Kill Tony George Floyd joke was horrible. And I felt like Kev smiling during it was horrible, even if that's him with his game face on.
Yeah.
He has to keep that
I'm
game
about to say,
face
what do you do in that moment?
He has to.
Like, I'm watching him get killed for that.
He has to keep the game
But
face
in that moment, and
there's nothing you can do in the moment.
Right.
The action, oh, please.
What do you do? What?
Yeah,
Kick him
he's
off?
right. Yeah.
That's what you do.
You can make it look like you're not okay with that joke. The
Right.
same way if you're in the shtick, you made it look like that when The Rock was talking about screwing your wife as a bit. It was a very uncomfortable bit. I thought that bit was cringy too.
Yeah, it was.
But I didn't put it on The Rock because he didn't write that.
One thing about it, you can't tell people what to be offended by and what not to be offended by. Everybody laughing until it's their family member that get murdered. Then it ain't funny. Then it ain't funny when it's your family member. It's funny when it's everybody else's family member, and it's cool when it's everybody else's family member. When it come to your doorstep, you want everybody to feel a certain way. See, I rode for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Risked everything I had going on in real time. No cap, no lies. 29 different states marching for my brother. Didn't take a dime from nobody. Every dime they tried to pay me, me and Q gave back to the community. Wherever we went, we gave it back. So you can't tell people that risk things and that really love somebody to feel a certain way when he's disrespected. Clown shit. Y'all keep laughing though. You got these motherfuckers that ain't never done shit in life, that's unproven, that can't even change their own circumstances, life kicking them in the ass, and they go on other people's page and try to convince them to crash out for their entertainment. Bro, you can't even control your own life. You can't change your own circumstances. You think people that's actually successful care about your opinion? Sorry, they don't. Y'all be embarrassing yourself. Just be a fan. But if you think people finna take your opinion and crash out for your entertainment, dog, you have to be the dumbest person ever, bro. Nobody cares about your opinion at all, first off. But if you think people finna listen to you and crash out so you can be entertained, that's why you're in the position you're in now. That's why life kicking you in the ass right now. You know what I'm saying? You want to tell somebody what else to do, but you can't even help your mama bring the groceries in the house or buy her a new house. Y'all clowns.
I want to shout out my sister Regina King, Art. Excuse me, Regina Hall, not Regina King, Regina Hall, because I didn't see her laugh or barely laugh at any of the jokes. She was up there on the podium sitting down. She did not find it funny. Thank you to Sister Regina Hall for maintaining your integrity, as much of it as you could, during this public lynching of Black people described as a comedy show. Shout out to Regina Hall.
Kevin Hart, ladies and gentlemen. He was born 9 months after his father spit a watermelon seed into his mother's. Yep, I did that. Kevin is so small, people call him the lowercase N-word. Kevin has so few Black friends that he started a vegan fast food chain and nobody stopped him. It's true, he lost his gig hosting the Academy Awards because of some homophobic tweets, but you'd be homophobic too if you were eye level with everyone's. He got into a fist fight on a private plane, proof that no matter how much money Black people have, they're still just gonna act like ninjas. He's fighting.
There's a comedian on there, and I talked about this yesterday. I said there was a lot of racist jokes from white men on there. Tony Hinchcliffe is one of them. So yeah, this is the second time he decided to take a low blow, and it's like, my guy, in all these years, you don't have any other material here. You're gonna keep picking at this family of an innocent man that was murdered by police. I just think it's a little crazy that, okay, it worked for you last time. Well, now let me do it again. One trick pony.
Yeah.
And people are behind him saying like, oh, well, he's a comedian. It's okay what he said. I don't think it's okay what he said.
I think it's fine. I just feel like if you know he said it at Tom Brady, just be expecting whatever at Kevin Hart. You just can't get offended coming back to a roast and they're like, oh, he shouldn't have said that. Just don't watch it.
But I remember,
is there anything in roast that's off limits?
yes, stuff like this. I feel like
It's
if you
not.
already got the backlash from it before, it's crazy because Lil Yachty had a line in his song where he talked about George Floyd, and people were like, nah, we're never
Lil
listening to
Yachty's
his
not a
music.
comedian, though.
But
So-
if you're talking about you're using it in a sense of art and he's using it as a sense of expression, what would be the difference if he's using it as a
because
joke?
he's not a comedian. I
It's a
look
bar.
at them completely different.
I feel like if it's a punchline, it's a punchline. That's what you do in music, punchlines. You do that on stage, a punchline. I'm L'Oreal, that's the lowdown. I don't know how the white man gets a pass.
Cheryl's husband unalived himself. Obviously, Black does crack because he jumped off a effing roof. Did you hear what I just said? I'm going to say it again. Shane Gillis said Cheryl's husband unalived himself. Obviously, Black does crack if it's married to Cheryl and jumps off an effing roof. So I do my research, Art, and guess what I find out? Her husband took his own life by jumping to his death, bro. They made a joke about her husband's suicide, Art, and check this out. It wasn't one joke about her husband's suicide. They repeatedly, throughout the whole show, made jokes about Cheryl Underwood's husband's suicide.
So good. So you have like 30
million-
seconds to chat really quick?
Yeah.
So talking about Kevin Hart Roast, right?
Yes, it was so much fun.
So Lonnie Love didn't think so. Lonnie Love was like, you know what? It's exhausting. It's edgy. Specifically about the George Floyd joke. What are you thinking? Is it just comedy? Should they have been a little less...
I think it should have been shorter. The show was too long.
Okay.
I mean, I was sitting there the whole time. I had to pee. I didn't hear the George Floyd joke because I had to pee so bad.
So you went to the bathroom with
yeah,
that?
I was a glorified seat filler, and I was tired.
Well, also, I mean, Lonnie and other people were like, oh, maybe it was a little too racially motivated. What do you think as far as like the jokes? Is this just comedy? Or are people taking it too seriously?
Is this all comedians saying it that wasn't invited?
White comedians make fun of black skin because they're uncomfortable in their own. This is a historical lesson that was taught at Netflix. Tony Hinchcliffe cracks jokes about the dead and the lynching of George Floyd because he's uncomfortable in his own skin and the fact that he knows white supremacy is at the head and wheel of why George Floyd was murdered in that way. White supremacy. Tony Hinchcliffe has to crack a joke about George Floyd because he has no fucking material. If you have to crack a joke about a man who's in the ground and can't defend himself, you're probably not that funny, if at all.